screen now, and also just wanted to confirm if anyone can see my screen and also you can hear my voice clearly. Okay, great. So I think we have a confirmation. Everyone is able to view the slides and also you can hear my voice. So I'll be the presenter for today's webinar, and our topic today is basically on cybersecurity scams or cyber scams from 2025. So how to basically identify them and how to stay ahead, right? So just a bit of background about myself. I've been in the cybersecurity industry now for about 10 years, right? I'm a cybersecurity account manager here with Condition Zebra. So talking about the webinar for today, I would like to share a few pointers before we dive into the main topic, right? So I believe some of you might be wondering how can you ask questions, or if let's say you have anything that you want to raise. We will have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. So please feel free to drop your questions or chats in the chat box. We will address them at the Q&A towards the end of the webinar, right? And if in case you're wondering whether you can get a copy of this webinar recording or presentation at the end after the webinar, yes. You can just send us an email or a WhatsApp message via official marketing links or emails, and then we will actually happy to send you the slides via email. There will be additional support at the end of the webinar. So of course, we will be providing you a free product demo or presentation if you need it, and we can arrange a free cybersecurity assessment and also a free giveaway for a free email phishing assessment or free email security test. But that's only available for those that stay to the end of the webinar. Right. So these are the basically topics that we'll be covering today. We'll basically be looking at the areas in terms of cybersecurity and how safe in terms of scams, right? In real world scams. But I also want to share with you about Condition Zebra, what are we doing, and also what is our background, right? So Condition Zebra is a cybersecurity company. We are founded in Malaysia. We have been now in existence for about 18 years, right? And to date, we have completed more than 1,000 security-related projects or cybersecurity projects, and we have trained more than 6,000 people in terms of IT security professional training, right? So we are certified by CREST, right? And we are also licensed in Malaysia by NACSA. We are also licensed in Singapore by CSRO, and we are also ISO certified, ISO 27001 or ISMS certified. And we have won this award for cybersecurity education and training provider of the year. Lastly, we are also a HIDF approved training provider. So in terms of our main offerings, we do provide security assessments, digital forensic investigation, managed security services, and also IT security training. So in a more detailed part, basically this will be about Condition Zebra's offerings, right? So if you have any requirement for any of these upcoming services or training courses, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to assist you on that, right? So talking about the coverage, of course, we'll be looking at what are the latest trends and scams, right? So for example, fake investment scams, business email compromise, AI-generated phishing emails, deepfakes, video, and also impersonation via voice calls as well. Some real cybersecurity cases and incidents from examples that have happened in Malaysia and within the region as well. And also how to spot the red flags, right? So like those kind of email phishing or ransomware or those kind of scams, when you receive it, how can you detect is it genuine and how can you verify, right? And then the actionable steps to stay away or to be safe. And then there will be QR code at the end of the webinar to basically share the free offering for the free scan. So before we move forward, right, just a curious question, right? So how many of us here know someone that has been scammed, right? I believe almost everyone in the audience today knows someone or they have heard of someone that has fallen victim to a scammers, right? Or even someone of us from the audience, maybe we have fallen victim to the scammers ourselves, right? This is something that is happening very, very rampant today. There's a lot of cases happening in today's world, right? But not to be threatened, this is something that is becoming more and more prevalent, right? So there is no indication that it's going to go down, right? So what does the statistics say about this? Right. So these are official data from Malaysian government, right? Whereby they have shared, basically this is by MyCert is owned by Malaysian government. They have shared this data whereby they are related, they are giving out the statistics in terms of cyber attacks, right? So fraud is actually one of the highest cases of cybercrime in Malaysia, right? So you can see it's very, very high. And this fraud can take many different approaches. It's not necessarily only via email or phone call. It's sometimes in face-to-face impersonation and so many different tactics that the hackers are using, right? So there is no measure or is no plan to say that this is going to stop anytime soon. So the best thing we can do is to protect ourselves, right? So one thing we need to keep in mind always is not only systems can be hacked, human being can also be hacked, right? Because a lot of times people are actually having this mindset, okay, let's say I'm working for a very big organization, they will think, oh, my company will take care of the security for us, right? I don't need to worry. Or they will think, oh, I'm a small organization, I'm a small person, why would hackers or attackers trying to attack me, right? But this is actually not the right mindset because as we know, hackers are actually targeting everyone. And sometimes even within your very big organization with all the security in place that the IT or security team have put in place is not enough. There's chances that someone can actually compromise you by attacking you personally, not your company network or firewall or all this, but they will attack you personally, right? So we're going to see a case of one of the very big institutions, right, in Malaysia that actually got almost got compromised, right, basically, right? So as you know, most times when we think of the most secured institutions in the world, right, what's the first thing that will come to your mind? Usually will be banks, right? Banks or financial institution, you will think, oh, those are the most secure people because they will have a lot of security investment in place to make sure that they protect our money, right? But here we have a case whereby one of the largest financial institutions in Malaysia, Maybank, actually got scammed, right? And this scam happened to one of the topmost people, one of the highest level people within the organization, right? So this happened to the CFO, the chief financial officer of the bank, right? So you might be thinking, oh, Maybank, of course, they have a lot of firewall, a lot of security, a lot of policy procedures and all these things, right? But somehow someone is still able to scam their chief financial officer, right? So this, what does this tell us? That everyone can fall victim. It's not to say that this CFO has actually done something specifically to fall victim. Maybe she is actually doing her best to follow the policy and procedures, but the hackers might be very convincing, you know? So this actually led to the CFO of Maybank getting sacked, right? She basically lost her job due to this incident. Luckily, they didn't lose money, but this person lost her job. And of course, there is some reputational damage to the bank, right? Because when we see this kind of thing, you might not feel so comfortable in your mind, right? But of course, we can also explore further to see exactly what happened, right? So just a quick case study of this, right? How did this thing happen? So it happened last year, right? But so happened that only this year that this CFO left the organization, but the incident happened last year. So this is just a quick case study of this. So of course, there is a first contact by the hackers or by the attackers, right? So they contacted her on morning of April last year at around 7 a.m., right? And then they asked, this person is pretending to be the CEO of Maybank Singapore, their branch in Singapore, right? So this person pretended to be the CEO of the Singapore office. He sent a WhatsApp message, reach out to this CFO in Malaysia, asking for payment on behalf of Maybank Singapore, right? So this CFO actually responded, and then they had a Zoom call at around 12 p.m. in the afternoon, right? So of course the CFO is putting her process or her thinking, oh, okay, can we have a Zoom call, you know, to see your face or to have a conversation to verify how genuine is this thing, right? So they had a Zoom call and then follow up by WhatsApp message, right? Then around 1:16 p.m. in the afternoon, then this supposed hacker who's pretending to be the CEO of Maybank Singapore actually asked how much is the balance for the bank, the Singapore office, right? And then she responded, it's around billions of ringgit, right? Then there was also a message followed by that asking them to make a transfer, a payment of about $1 million, around $1 million, right? To a certain company via JP Morgan. right? So this CFO went ahead to make the transaction, they authorize it, but luckily JP Morgan Bank actually flagged this transaction, so they didn't allow the transaction to go through, right? So at night, around 9 p.m. only, the CFO contacted the real CEO in Singapore via the official channel, right? Via official phone call or official office line, right? So she contacted this person, and then this CEO in Singapore said, I don't even have your personal line. So definitely it's not me. I never contacted you. I don't even have your personal line. So immediately, of course, she realized something is wrong and straight away contacted the bank, JP Morgan Chase, asked them to stop the transaction. Luckily, the transaction didn't go through. So only around 10 p.m., they responded that transaction didn't go through, they flagged it and all that. So you might be thinking everything's settled, right? Luckily, disaster has been stopped. No money lost. But at December last year, the group audit actually had an interview with this CFO to find out what happened. And then at January this year, they basically had the investor relations or had another interview. And then lastly, by February this year, the CFO resigned or left the bank, right? So you can see this chain of activities, right? This is someone very, very high level in a very big organization. So you think there's a lot of security around her, a lot of policies and procedures, but so happened that these hackers can be very smart. They can be very convincing. They managed to get her to actually authorize such transaction. So that is one why we have to put in mind everything. Always doubt, always doubt. It's better to doubt, verify, and be safe than you just simply give the benefit of the doubt. End of the day, you become the victim. But at this point, some of us also might be thinking, oh, this is Maybank, right? Maybank, they have money, so of course hackers will try get them. So I don't need to worry because I am not Maybank, I am not big organization, or I'm not someone very highly placed, right? But this is not the right mindset because the hackers also have other tactics, right? So one of it now is the investment scams, right? They are basically targeting individuals, no longer even banks or organizations, but they will target you as an individual. So you can see different kind of individuals here, examples. So this is an investment scam that actually affected a man about 100,000 ringgit in Kulai, right? Another woman in JB actually lost about 500,000 ringgit to investment scams, right? Another construction site supervisor loses about 100,000 ringgit to non-existent investment scam, right? So what does this show us? The hackers or the bad guys, right? They will target anyone, right? And you can see the kind of cases, sometimes very huge amount, 500,000 ringgit, right? A woman lost, right? It's not that organization, but this is personal losses, right? But how does this happen, right? So of course, the hackers also know that today the economy maybe is, inflation, prices are getting higher. People are trying to find ways to increase their money or to invest their money to get more returns, right? So first thing is they will promise you high returns, right? So very substantial return, about 20%. So they'll ask you, okay, you give me 100,000 ringgit, I'll return to you 120, right? But those of us that are actually familiar with the investment world, right, you will know that 20% return is very, very high. Usually, even those, the big investment bank or the investment institutions, right, they are very happy if they make 20%, right? They will have to work very hard to make 20%. So averagely, maybe 7%, 10% is still safe. But 20% of people will rush for it, right? And then, of course, they will give you social proof. So they'll share some fake success stories, right? They'll also give you pressure tactics. Hey, you need to invest today. You need to invest now. The opportunity is going to go away, right? They will give you all this sense of urgency to make sure you take action, right? And then they'll also use online and social media influencers, right? Because people cannot differentiate the real one or the fake one. So they will give you some influencers sharing some returns or some news that, hey, okay, I've invested in this and I've managed to make this much money. They'll give you all this kind of hope. But then there's people falling victims. So this is a real case that happened to one of our people, right? One of our customers, right? That these are really screenshot of the chat there, whereby they actually created a group, right? Sometimes they will be in WhatsApp group or Telegram, different platforms. They create some kind of investment group. There's a lot of people inside, as you can see, right? But a lot of them are fake. So they're giving reviews, hey, congratulations, all this, a lot of hope, right? But a lot of them are fake, right? They are part of the scam. So you can enter the group, you see maybe 50 people, but out of these 50, how many of them is genuine? Maybe only 5 people are actually the real one. The rest are all fake. They are part of the scammers, right? So how do you prevent yourself from this kind of investment scams, right? So first thing is you have to do thorough research. There's no free meal, right? Even though there's an investment opportunity, you have to do your own due diligence. Make sure that this is genuine, this opportunity is real, and you can also verify the track record that they claim to have. Then you also have to be aware of unrealistic returns. If it's too good to be true, most likely it is too good to be true already. It's not true, right? So if someone promising you 50%, 20%, I return to you 20% within 1 month or within 1 week, or 100% within 1 year, all these kind of unrealistic returns, you have to be very careful. And then avoid pressure tactics, right? If it's the genuine investment opportunity, they will allow you to take your time to make a decision, right? But if someone is telling you, hey, you must invest today, invest today, invest today, or invest latest by this deadline, otherwise you will lose this opportunity. They give you a lot of pressure and this kind of tactics. Know that it's high chance it's not genuine. Then you also have to watch out for Ponzi scheme. So if let's say you look at the structure of the organization or the structure of the investment scam, someone is asking you to, hey, you invest or you buy this, and then you can bring another 3 more people under you, then these 3 people bring another 3 people, then you also know is a Ponzi scheme, right? Not to say they're all fake, but there's some of them out there that really not genuine, so you have to be careful. All right, then one very important thing is protect your personal information. The only way the hackers or these bad guys can get to you is if they have either your email or WhatsApp or phone numbers and all this, or your address. That's the only way they can reach you. But if you protect your personal information, you don't simply share out, then there's a high chance you can stay safe because they cannot find you. Right? And then lastly, stay educated. You have to keep on putting effort. In the world that we live in today, right? We cannot simply live the old way whereby we assume that the world is a safe place. We have to keep on looking for education and staying up to date to make sure that we are aware of what is happening in the world. And then you also have to check regulatory warnings. So like all these investment platforms, usually they are regulated by either the central bank, the Bank Negara, or by security commissions, SC, right? And usually these regulators have their own portals whereby they will list that or blacklisted people, right? So for example, Bank Negara has this financial consumer alert list. So you can check here, this website, to verify any potential investment opportunity or any financial information. You can check from Bank Negara website, these links to check for the alerts. Usually they will list out any security alerts there. And Security Commission has this investor alert list. The website is here as well. You can check there if there's any bad actors or whether it's an individual or some reported organization that's potentially scammers, they will be listed there. And then for Labuan region, they have Labuan FSA. They also have their own list of genuine investors platforms, right? So whenever you are in doubt, you can check any of these platforms or organization to be sure that it's genuine. So this is also an incident that was reported to us, right? A real case that happened to one of our clients as well, whereby he also fell victim and got scammed, right? So usually there will be a lot of, trying to give you genuine hope, but at the end of the day, it's all fake, right? So in this case, the victim was actually a Nepalese man that was living in in Korea, working in Korea. And how did it happen, right? So this particular girl actually reached out to him from Hong Kong and messaged him via WhatsApp, asking to invest in e-commerce platform by opening a shop, online shop, right? So first they try as a seller by investing just $200, right, to sell Adidas shoes successfully to get commissions, right, and the principal. So you invest $200, you buy this Adidas shoes, you sell it with profit, and then you get high returns, right? Very simple, very basic thing. $200. Sometimes you might think, oh, okay, the risk is not so high. Let me try, right? So later on, he add more expensive products such as Gucci bag, right? So due to large amount of orders, right, there's more and more demand, up to 15 orders per day, right? So he was asked now to deposit $5,000. This is how they get you, right? Initially, you started from $200, but now suddenly you find yourself planning to pay $5,000, right? And then he began to doubt, right? Because every time he processed the orders, he settled the orders, there will be new orders coming immediately, right? So of course he's desperate, asking them, okay, I don't want to do anymore. Stop these orders. I don't want to do. I want to withdraw my investment and my commissions, right? So of course he said to close the. They asked him. He said he want to close the store. Then they asked him, okay, you need to pay 30% of the account balance before they can close. So then they start to give him all the tactics, right? They'll ask him, okay, if you want to, they'll give him all the terms and conditions. If you want to withdraw your money, you have deposited this amount, you have to pay this much money so that to claim or to process your closure, right? Then the customer is asking for more money by giving fake reasons like the breach of contract, buyer complaints, store frozen by the system, all these kind of tactics to stop the payment. Right? And then the scammer asks the victim to work for them. So totally this scammer actually lost $5,000 US dollars. So another case that is very common right now is the online job scam. Right? So this online job scam is happening more and more because people are also looking to change their job or to upgrade their career and things like that, right? So they will try to use these tactics as well. So there's a case of a medical officer that actually lost 100,000 ringgit due to job scam. Another case, another person actually lost about 100,000 ringgit due to high return promises, right? Another case, 291,000 ringgit due to job scam. So how does it normally happen? So first thing is they will ask you to look into this job opportunity. They will give you, oh, this job has high returns, maybe either commission or salary or what, you know, very tempting job offers, right? And then they will look very professional, right? The credibility looks solid. Maybe they dressed up with a suit and everything, or they talk very nicely on the call and all that, very professional. And then they will give you attractive, low barrier entry, right? So they'll tell you, okay, this job, maybe you can be a remote job, you can work flexible working hours, all these kind of things to give you the hope, right? And initial trust building to make sure that you are comfortable with them. Then now suddenly pressure, right? So either they will ask you, oh, okay, to get this job, you need to invest, you need to provide this certain amount, you know, maybe for processing fee or something like that, right? Or maybe this job that is actually commission based, right? And then you need to purchase something, you sell it for commissions or returns, right? And then they will try to manipulate you through fake returns and also delayed payments. So how do you stay safe from this? First thing, research the company. If someone tell you, oh, they have a job opportunity, I have this opportunity, first do your research. Due diligence is a must, right? You always have to be skeptical. Someone asking you to make payment, I want to give you a job, but I want you to pay me first, then something's wrong, right? Then check the reviews and warnings. So there's a lot of platforms like all this Job Street and all that to check reviews for employers and all that, and any warning signs, and consult with others, right? Ask questions, ask your friends, your colleagues, and other people that might be aware of this organization. Find out more information, do your due diligence, right, to spot the red flags. Then trust your instinct. Most of the times, our gut is also right. When we feel like, oh, our gut instinct says this is something not right, trust your instinct. There's a lot of opportunities out there. Maybe you miss out this opportunity, but you might find other opportunities in the future, right? If it's a genuine one. But if it's not genuine, then you're safe. Another kind of scam right now is the Macau scam, right? I'm not sure anyone has heard of this Macau scam, but it's very, very prominent. This has been going on at least now for the past easily around 2018, 2019, and it's getting more and more, right? So there's a case whereby actually a civil servant was duped of 510,000 ringgit using this Macau scam. Another case, a property agent was actually scam of 1.4 million ringgit through this Macau scam. And then another woman also lost 670,000 ringgit to Macau scam, right? So these people are making a lot of money. So this basically shows that the trend will continue because any opportunity where people are making such high returns, high amount of money, they will continue, right? They will try new tactics, right? It's very hard. Even the police will tell you it's very hard for them to track these cases, right? But how does it happen? First thing, they will impersonate either a government official or someone with authority, right? Then they will also create some fake accusation of crime and also intimidation tactics. So one of the cases, for example, so they can call you to be, maybe, for example, from a bank. We are calling from public bank, right? We're asking you for certain information to verify this transaction. We saw that this huge amount of money or suspicious transaction on your account, right? Then they will try to tell you, okay, now if you don't verify this information, we can report you to the police, right? Because this is some suspicious activity. Maybe it's some kind of huge amount or something like that, right? Or they'll tell you, maybe pretend to be calling from maybe TMB or from TM, right? To tell you someone is using your Wi-Fi to do online gambling, a lot of different things. Then they try to pressure you with fake accusation and try to intimidate you, right? And then they will ask you for money or personal information. So these people are also very professional. If you don't verify it, you might fall victim, right? So fake legal notice or demand, right? And then spoof caller ID. So usually they will call you from a certain number, and then they will say, okay, we're calling from this, maybe from this police station, right? We're calling from this branch in JB, and someone reported you have done a hit and run, for example. So you didn't do it, right? But they'll say, if someone reported you, right? And then if you don't come down to this station, we're gonna lodge a case on you, right? Send you to the court and all that. Give a lot of pressure. But what happens is they're trying to intimidate you only, right? They're trying to make you to panic. Once you panic, then they'll start asking you for money or asking you for personal information, right? They say, okay, if I want to settle this case, you pay this much, the case will go away. You didn't do it, but the pressure and all the lies they will give to you, you might be thinking, hey, even though it's not true, if this thing actually continue, I will suffer. Even though I'm innocent. So people fall victim, they will go and pay them. So you have to be very careful about this as well. So how to prevent? First thing, verify the caller. So someone call you, hey, I'm calling from so office in PDRM. Oh, okay, can I have your full name? Can I have your ID number, your employee ID number, or something like that? Or someone call you from certain organization, calling from TM or calling from whatever organization. Sometimes even they can pretend to be your internal staff. Let's say you work for a very large organization, right? They can pretend to call from HR. Hey, they're calling from HR department from your organization, and then they ask you, oh, this someone reported a case or someone suspects you of doing something, try to pressure you. So first thing, verify them. Don't simply share information. Verify who are you, your full name, number, contact number, and all that. If possible, also ask them for their own official number to call back. Right? So if, let's say, someone calling you from police, PDRM, for example, right? And then he's calling you from a personal line. You can ask him, okay, I don't want to talk to you via a personal line. Can you give me your official office line? I will call your office line to talk to you. Right? It's one of the ways to verify them. But don't simply share your personal information. Be very careful. Do not transfer any money. If they say, oh, you need to pay something or what, don't make any transaction and don't panic. Right? Stay cool, stay calm, think clearly, and always be skeptical. Right? And then report the scam. So whenever you suspect something, even though you're not sure, you didn't do something, someone claim that they reported you, right? Just report it, report to the police, report to the authorities that is relevant to that case, and let them handle it. Go through the official channels. If it's a genuine case, go through the official channels, you can clear yourself. So discuss with your friends and relatives to share all this information, because one of the things that hackers will do, or the bad guys will do, is they will tell you, wait, don't tell someone or don't talk to anyone, because if you share this, then we will do this, right? But they're just trying to keep you in the box, right? So that they can control everything, right? So feel free to discuss it, share with other people and authorities, discuss it. If it's some genuine case, you can go through the channel, the official channels, you can settle yourself. And then don't feel threatened. Their whole tactics is to make you panic. If you don't panic, you stay calm, you can easily settle this. So another case is parcel scam, right? Now a lot of online people are doing a lot of online shopping, Shopee, Lazada, all this platform, right? So they'll pretend to send you a certain delivery or something like that, and the people fall victim. So there's a case of people actually lost 394,000 ringgit in separate cases of contraband parcel scam. Then another woman also lost 180,000 ringgit through parcel scam. Another person in JB also lost 400,000 ringgit in phone scam. So how does this happen, right? So first thing is, is similar to Macau scam. So Macau scam normally is via phone call, right? Someone calling you to pretend to be this kind of party, right? So parcel scam, they will also do phone call or WhatsApp or what to try to give you some fake notification. You have received, for example, a delivery from China, right? For example, then they'll try to impersonate the authorities, right? Then they'll try to intimidate you, and then they request for personal information, and then they try to ask you for money, right? So in this case, what happens is, so let's say someone send you a notification or call you, say, okay, you have received a parcel from Thailand, right? And this parcel, we're calling from custom department. This parcel is received from Thailand and it's something contraband, maybe it's drugs or some unauthorized item, right? So of course, you know that you didn't expect this parcel, right, from Thailand or from anyone, but then they tell you, oh, okay, if you don't pay this, we can report you or we can take this case further. Or sometimes they will just tell you, oh, someone is trying to send you a parcel, maybe from nearby region, that it might look genuine, right? It might look like a safe item, but they will ask you, you need to pay clearance fee. You need to pay custom duty. You need to pay insurance, right? You need to pay storage fee, right? Or maybe anti-money laundering. Or maybe this item, due to its contraband, you need to pay penalty, right? Or maybe some unforeseen issue, right? They can be whatever reason they give you to try to extort you for money. So this is one of the ways as well. So how it happens is, of course, like I said, mirroring account scam, fake email notification, fake notification, impersonation, and intimidation, and then the request for personal information, and lastly, money. So how do you prevent yourself from these attacks? You stay calm, don't panic. Someone call you with all this information, you know it's not genuine, or you suspect it's not genuine, don't panic. Take your time, verify the information, ask them for their official information, like their address, official phone number, their full name. You tell them, I will visit your office to settle this case, right? You give me your office address, you give me your full address, your full name, I'll come to your office, I'll come over there to settle this case. You see how they respond, right? So verify the source. Don't share any personal information, is very important, and don't transfer money. Very, very important, right? Because sometimes by the time you make transfer, it's very hard to get your money back. Of course, always verify the caller's identity. Don't download suspicious attachment or apps as well. And then stay informed. All right. And if there's anything that you suspect, always report. Because by reporting, you are also helping other people. Let's say this person tried to scam you and you find out he is a scammer. Don't keep it to yourself. Inform other people. Share to your colleagues, your friends, and report to the authorities so that they will put it on all these official notifications and they will blacklist such people. So love scam is the last type of scam that we're looking at for today, right? So this love scam is something that has been going on for many years, easily, I think 20, 30 years now, right? Or even longer than that, but it's becoming more prevalent, of course, via email and phone calls and all that, right? So people are still losing a lot of money to this case. So like one case of a woman, a lawyer actually lost about 1.7 million in love scam. Another woman actually lost about 658,000 ringgit after falling victim for a love scam as well. And then a director actually lost 1.25 million ringgit to love scam, right? Because sometimes they know people are maybe lonely, they are looking for affection and all that. They will use this as opportunity to take advantage, right? So how does it happen, right? They will give you someone very appealing personality, give you a lot of sweet stories and all that. They try to manipulate people's emotions, right? And they will try to build trust using fake stories. Of course, they will do their research about you, know who you are, where you live, where you work, what you like, what you don't like. Then they'll try to relate and try to bond to you on a personal level, right? They'll give you fake stories. Maybe you grow up in JB, they will give you some story related to JB that they know to try to endear themselves to you, right? Then at the end, they'll start to request for money, right? Request for favors, right? And then they will give you urgency. Hey, and come up with some story. Hey, I have some emergency situation right now, and I need this money by today, right? Can you help me? Now you're already in a relationship with them, for example, right? You feel, you have to help this person, and then they'll keep pressuring you. Hey, I don't have, even if you tell them I don't have the money right now, they ask you go and borrow this money. They try to give you a lot of pressure. So always reach out, always be careful of people trying to give you this kind of urgency. How to prevent from this? always be skeptical, right? If it's too good to be true, always keep in mind it's too good to be true. So for example, someone like Tom Cruise is reaching out to you, or something, because some of the hackers or the bad guys, they will use even famous people profile, right? For example, someone can use profile to look like it's from Tom Cruise or it's from some celebrity, right? And then they'll tell you, or maybe even a local celebrity, right? They say, oh, I found myself in the tough situation, I'm on traveling and I have this emergency situation, can you help me, right? And if Tom Cruise is messaging you, of course, you have to be skeptical, right? For example, right? So avoid sharing your personal information quickly, right? Watch out for inconsistencies, always verify the story. So you have to analyze the story. If they give you a story and part of the story doesn't match up, you have to also verify. And then you have to be very moving of fast-moving relationship. If someone you just met, within 1 week, they're trying to move very fast, right? They're asking for this or trying to push, very pushy and all that, you also have to be careful. Then always refuse to send money, right? Communicate with caution, so be very careful, very careful. And then you stay informed about all these scams, right? So about our advice, basically, there are things that you can do to be protected, additional steps that you can take. So if someone is asking you for investment and all that, when you suspect anything, you can go to this website to verify before you make payment. This is official website by the Malaysian police, right? So any suspicious accounts or bank accounts or all that is reported in this website. So if you suspect something, someone send you an account to make a payment, you don't feel comfortable, you can just go to this website to verify before you make any payment or online transaction, because these are all sourced by people that are reporting to the police, right? That's why I say when you suspect something, report to the police. Even if you fall victim yourself, even though you know you might not get your money back, but it's always good practice to report because you are helping other people, right? This person will get blacklisted or the account will get blacklisted, right? So you can also download certain apps, right? The identity and screening of calls, right? So like those Truecaller, Who's Call, all these kind of tools can help you to verify the identity. So let's say someone trying to call you, if it's a suspicious call, usually this Who's Call or Truecaller, they can verify the person's identity before you answer the call, right? It's not to say it's 100%, but it does help, right? So you also verify with relevant agencies. So for example, like the police, the Bank Negara, the security commissions, if anything related to investment, before you make investment, right? Always very important, do your due diligence. Don't always rush, you know, because opportunity is looking so sweet, you rush and then you might end up losing the money. Then follow the CCID social media accounts, right? To always keep up to date on these scams, right? So there are official channels like this. CCID is a Commercial Crime Investigation Department, is a unit of the Malaysian police. They are always constantly updating via Twitter, Facebook, and all this, sharing the latest threats and the scams, right? So you can follow these pages to stay up to date. So we have seen all the type of scams. So now we'll just do a very short interactive session about live samples, right? So we share on email phishing, Wi-Fi spoofing, phone hacking, and also AI deepfakes, all right? So just to give you some samples of how these things happen. So now the first one is email phishing, right? So what is email phishing? I think everyone has heard about this. So it's actually a fraudulent attempt, usually through email, by someone trying to trick you by pretending to be certain party to get you to reveal maybe confidential information or to take some action or to make payment and all that, right? So this is basically phishing, right? But there's so many different types of phishing emails or email phishing, right? It's not just one type, right? So, but out of the people here, how many people have received phishing email? I believe almost everyone here has received some kind of email phishing, right? Because they are becoming very rampant, right? And it's not always, not to say that always you fall victim or you have fall victim, but most likely you have at least received one email that is suspicious and you don't trust this sender, right? So it's becoming very popular, very rampant these days, right? So a very common one right now is the tax refunds, right? So of course, tax season just ended, right? But usually around this tax season, these people would usually send these fake emails pretending to be LHDN, and they try to get you to click some link and put in your information. Of course, once you fall for it, it's gone case. So there's a lot of cases of people who have lost their money or information through these LHDN scams, right? So you have to be very careful whenever it's tax season, be very careful, right? Always verify the links in the URL, verify the sender email. Let's say the email says it's coming from lhdn@gmail.com. You know it's not legit, it's not genuine. Or sometimes they would be very clever. The email it says is coming from lhdn.gov.dn, for example. It's not .gov.my, right? Or something like that. There's different ways. Always verify the email. If there's a link, verify that's genuine website or genuine URL before you submit any information. So we'll share with you here how to verify these fake emails and what you need to do, right? So first type of emails phishing is spam, right? So spam is very common. It's basically unsolicited bulk email. People just send a junk email, right? And 53% of email are actually spam. And then it lowers, the impact is it lowers productivity, right? And traffic, right? So you're busy doing your own work and then you keep on receiving all this email. You have to stop what you're doing to go and check the email. You have to verify, is it genuine, is it fake, and all that. So how does it work? So this is a sample whereby someone will actually send you, right? So sometimes they might not necessarily ask you for any action or something like that, right? Or some cases they will only ask you to reply, you know, they need you to reply to reveal some information. So be very careful. Don't even simply reply. Even if you see the email, don't reply. Even if there's no link or attachment, don't simply reply. Make sure it's genuine before you reply. So like in this case, right, they are basically informing this person that you receive, for example, some refund or something like that. So another very common one is malware or ransomware. Right now, a lot of cases of ransomware, especially within this region, right? Malaysia is one of the top at most risk of regions in terms of ransomware, right? So ransomware or this malware is they will just send an email, you know, with an attachment pretending to be a certain party, and once you click that attachment, you fall victim. It will actually lock your account, lock your email, lock your laptop, lock all your files, and then it will ask you for payment. Right? And this payment, usually they will not ask you for payment in ringgit, they will ask in USD or in Bitcoin. So it's very hard to trace back, right? And usually it's a 0-day exploit. But what we mean by 0-day is it's not a known vulnerability, so it's very hard to break it, to crack it, right? If you think, oh, because they lock your files, you can crack it, it's very hard, right? So in most cases, people have to actually pay, or they just lose the data or lose the file. All right, or sometimes they will include some URL attachment in the email. So 94% of malware is delivered through email, right? And $9 billion was actually the amount lost to ransomware in 2019. So very huge amount of losses, because a lot of cases, like I think the most recent one in Malaysia, this Malaysian airport also had an attack whereby they actually affected the flight operation and all that due to ransomware case. Right? So it will usually come like this, an email pretended to be maybe some sender that you know, or sometimes it's not even known sender, but they will ask you to click this file or click this link or download this attachment and all that. Once you do that, they will lock out your screen and ask you for payment. Another common one is business email compromise, or BEC, right? So usually in this case, what they do is they will impersonate someone very high in the organization. For example, they will pretend to be your manager or CEO, CFO, director, or all this, right? So they send an email with, for example, CEO@thisorganization.com, right? So you have to be very careful. Check out for the sender email. Is it genuine or not, right? So usually when you double click the sender email, you can see the actual sender's email. And sense of urgency. One common thing that you can notice here is always they talk about urgency, right? Whenever someone is trying to scam you, they will make it very urgent. Hey, I need this by today, by now, by tomorrow. Then they keep on asking, pressure. Always be careful when you see these kind of cases, right? So someone may be sending an email to be from your CEO, pretend to be your CEO, and then ask you, I need this payment done by today, right? So in urgency, because it's your boss, you're rushing, then you don't verify, take action. So this is how they get people to fall victim. And you also, of verify. That's the first thing you need to do. If you suspect something, let's say you're working with this person for many years, you will know their pattern of email, whether they write very detailed or very short or very brief, right? You can analyze the pattern of the email, all right, before you take action. If you suspect something, just call this person or WhatsApp them, verify is it genuine or not before you take action. Right? So usually it comes from high reputation senders. There's no link or attachment, not all the time. It's basically asking you to take action, make payment, send this information, authorizes payments, things like that. So now another sample we look at is Wi-Fi spoofing. So how many of us here connect to public Wi-Fi? I believe it's almost everyone, right? So whenever we go to a restaurant, before we even ask for the menu, we'll ask, hey, what is the Wi-Fi password? Right? Or when you go to the airport, right, you connect to the Wi-Fi in the airport or hospital Wi-Fi, all this, Starbucks free Wi-Fi and all that is very dangerous. Why is it dangerous? Right? Because the hackers are also very smart. They can go to all these public places and then they will duplicate their own Wi-Fi, right? So let's say you go to McDonald's, right? McDonald's have Wi-Fi, maybe McDonald's Wi-Fi. Then the hackers can go there and create McDonald's Wi-Fi 1 or Starbucks free Wi-Fi 2, right? Then if you go and connect to this hackers Wi-Fi, you don't know, right? Because it's Starbucks. Anyone can just put a name. I can just create a Wi-Fi name with whatever name I want, right? Or even guest Wi-Fi, maybe within your office environment. Let's say you're working for a certain organization, all right? And then maybe your organization is called ABC, right? So your organization have a genuine Wi-Fi called ABC guest Wi-Fi, for example. But then someone can go ABC guest Wi-Fi 2, all right? And then whoever connects to that network is actually connecting to the hackers Wi-Fi, and then they can do a lot of fake things, a lot of bad things, because they can monitor your transaction, they can monitor your emails, your conversation, they can even extract your credential if it's not encrypted. There's a lot of things they can do. So we have to be very careful. Whenever you connect to this free Wi-Fi, don't do any confidential or any so-called sensitive transactions, right? So the third sample we're looking at is phone hacking, right? So this is a real life incident that happened to one of our clients, whereby this person is actually a restaurant owner, right? But their phone got hacked. Because sometimes people might be thinking, oh, all these things is happening due to or happening to big organization, right? But this is a very small organization. It's just a restaurant owner, right? So there's actually a supplier contact this person and then try to build trust using FaceTime, video, audio calling, and all that, right? Then she actually downloaded this file, right, or this application because she trusted this person, right? Install these apps on her phone, but this app is actually malicious app, right? Immediately she installed it, the attacker is actually able to hack her phone and take over the phone, right? But you won't know. That's why you have to download apps from genuine store, like either Apple Store or iOS Store, or this Android Store, right? If you're downloading applications from other third-party platforms, other websites, right, there's a high chance they can be malicious. You won't know. You only install the apps, then maybe you notice, oh, your phone is becoming slow and slow. Your phone is becoming hot, right? Someone might already use this app to take over your phone. They can do a lot of things. For example, in this case, the hacker gained access to the WhatsApp and Touch and Go e-wallet by hacking this phone. Right? The hacker impersonate the restaurant owner and also send mass WhatsApp messages requesting for money. Right? So you try to imagine, right? Someone have access already to your Grab app, Touch and Go app, e-wallet, all this, even maybe your banking apps, because they can see everything that you can see in your phone. They can control the phone without you touching it. Right? There's a lot of tools that can be using that, and it's not so complicated the way you think. It's not like a movie, right? So these things are happening in real life, and then this hacker also have access to all the contacts, the phone contact numbers, right? So they send WhatsApp email, a WhatsApp message, blast out to all the contacts asking for money. So of course, people will fall victim. Hey, this restaurant owner, I know this person, and this person is asking for money, right? They will send. So this is how this restaurant owner lost their phone contacts and their money, because the hacker also able to transfer money from their Touch and Go wallet. Now, the last thing we're going to look at for today is basically the AI, the deepfake, right? So one of the most interesting things now is AI, right? People always have AI, ChatGPT, all this platform, right? But they are also coming with a lot of dangers and a lot of risk, right? So what is the risk that we're facing? One is AI generated images and text, right? We cannot simply trust anything that we see today because the image can be fake. So I'll share some examples and we can do some scenarios and see how many of us are able to detect the genuine or the fake ones, right? So for example, in this case, the AI, generative AI, they can have deep fake, right? Either video or images, text, or even email, right? Like Jasper, right? And then this deepfake, what is deepfake? Deepfake is basically the AI generated fake videos or audio or images, right? So it will look very realistic. It's very hard to differentiate these days, very, very hard, right? So we have to be very careful. Just because someone call you and they do a Zoom call and the face look like them, it might not be them. Is a lot of tools out there that can be used to do fake things, right? So in this case, what is the impact, right? So there's a case of this social media influencer, right?
Disebabkan paip air utama di gudang pecah, gudang kami banjir dan semua kotak pembungkusan kuali rosak. Untuk menampung kos membaiki gudang, saya memutuskan untuk menjual kuali.
So in this case, we can see, right, this is a popular social media influencer, right? Someone used AI deepfakes to pretend to be him, right? They created a video and then they posted online, right? So this person is actually called Khairul Amin, right? A popular Malaysian influencer. So someone actually pretend to be him, and then they said, oh, the warehouse got damaged, you know, and they're asking for people to raise funds for him to repair the warehouse, right? So the deepfake was actually so convincing, right, that even his mother was deceived, right? So even his own mother couldn't recognize that this is not her son because it's very convincing. As you can see, the video basically playing here, right? So this is something very, very dangerous, right? You can see the image looks very realistic, right? And it's like TikTok or some social media platform that people will just simply watch it. Oh, okay, this is popular influencer. We know this person, he needs help. Then they keep on contribute money, contribute, right? But what is the damage? First thing is the reputation of this person, right? The personal reputation. So someone can use your face, pretend to be you, and go and scam some other person. But your image is the one that they're using, so you get affected, right? And of course, they can also use your own face or pretend to be you and then to go and do transaction on your behalf to take your money or to do something like that, right? So we have to be very careful about this. So another case of this AI, all right? So actually, fraudsters in Hong Kong, right? They actually use this deepfake technology to swindle a man out of 200 million ringgit. This is in Hong Kong, right? Whereby they use AI-generated attractive female, right? They lure this person to they attract this person basically to invest in fake trading platform, right? So usually it's happened to also victims in Hong Kong, China, Taiwan, India, Singapore. There's a lot of cases about this as well, right? So this is just a sample for us here. Just from this image, right? We can just do a quick exercise. Which one do you think is a genuine one, right? So either the 1 or 2. So this is 1, this is 2. Or do you think both of them are AI or both of them are original? So you can just drop your answer in the chat box. Any guesses? Okay, someone say 1 is deepfake. Okay, another person 1 is deepfake. Okay, someone say 2. Okay, another person say maybe 1. Both fake. Okay, all right. So this is the kind of thing, it's very tricky to differentiate, right? So you look at this, right? It looks like, of course, it's Tom Cruise. Both of them is Tom Cruise, but one is with beard, one is without beard, right? So in this case, actually, the real one is this one, the one with the beard. Number 1 is the real one. Number 2 is fake, is AI generated, right? So they actually use AI to remove his beard. So in this case, very hard to tell. I believe even Tom Cruise look at this picture, so he will be very hard to realize which one is the real one or which one is the fake one, right? So here's another sample, another example here, right? So which one do you think is the deepfake? Number 1 or number 2? Or you think both of them is deepfake? We can see here two ladies. It could be both of them are fake. It could be only one. But which one do you think? You can drop your answer in the chat box as well. Okay. A lot of people are saying two, both fake. All right. Both. Okay. Number two. Okay. All right. So a lot of people seem to be saying number two. Maybe those that are saying number two, you want to share why you think it's number two. You can just drop your answer in the chat box. Okay. All right. So we have some very cyber aware people here, right? They can see that the fingers. In this case, it's correct. Number two is the fake one. Number two is a real image, is a real person. Number two here, number one is a real image, real person. Number two is a fake, right? From the fingers. You can tell it from the fingers. So one of the way to detect AI generated content at this point is the fingers. So AI is still not very good at identifying or generating proper images of human fingers. So if let's say you see an image, if you want to verify, one of the things that you can do is check the fingers. Sometimes the fingers might not be accurate. Maybe you can see 3 fingers, 4 fingers, right? Or sometimes maybe even one finger or all the fingers are jammed together. It's not moving properly, right? So the finger is one of the best way that you can use to identify. Because at this point, AI is still not yet advanced enough to do human fingers properly. But who knows, in future, because it's becoming more advanced very fast, right? In future, they might be able to do it, right? But one of the things that you can use now is the fingers. You can also sometimes look at the lightning, right? You analyze properly before you can see, right? So in this case, look at our example here, right? So we have 2 videos, right? So which one do you think is a real or fake? Let me play it. So this is number 1. Okay, that is number 1 video. Then this is number 2 video. All right. So which one do you think is the real video? Which one do you think is a fake video? Right. So number 1 or number 2? Right. In this case, I'll make it easier. It's not both of them. Both of them are not fake. One is real, one is genuine, and then one is fake. I'll make it simpler for you. Okay. Someone say number 1 hair not natural. Okay. Any guesses? Any more guesses? So they are both. It's not to say both are genuine. In this case, one is genuine, one is not. So I simplify it for you. But which one is the genuine one? Number 1 or number 2? You can drop your answer in the chat box as well. Hard one, is it? No guesses. Too hard. Okay, so I'll give you the answer. Yeah, in this case, number 1 is genuine, number 2 is the fake one, right? So number 2 is actually generated by us here at Conscious Zebra. We are the one that did this deepfake. We put in this face on top of this person, right? So it's a video. If you look at it, you play it, you can see it's interactive, right? So it's the same video, but just a face change. So if you look at here, there is no emotion, right? Compared to this one. This one is looking like there's no wrinkles, nothing. It's just perfect smooth. But meanwhile, this one, you can see it's a bit more human-like, right? But it's becoming very, very difficult to tell, right? So we have to be careful. The only thing is we have to keep on alert, verify, right? If you have other ways to verify, usually let's say you're call with someone, or maybe suspect some video or something is AI generated. If it's a human being, first thing, ask for the fingers, ask to see the fingers, right? Count the fingers. How many are they, right? Sometimes it can be 6 fingers, 7 fingers, or sometimes the fingers are mashed together. Those are the things that you can use to verify, or ask question, right? Ask personal question, or ask question that only the genuine person will know, right? But to be frank, it's becoming more and more difficult. So we have to be sitting very, very alert. So that brings us to the end of our session for today. I hope you had this find it very beneficial. So before we wrap up, as I promised at the beginning, we will be giving you a free tool basically to get assessment on your email security, right? So this is a quote by Kevin Mitnick, right? He said the weakest link in security chain is the human element. So I always like to remind people about this, right? Whatever you do in security, you put firewall, put control, antivirus, everything, right? The weak part is always the human thing, the human being. So we have to be alert. There's no patch for human being, right? Or human error. The only thing is educate people, make sure they are aware. Keep on educating non-stop, and also practice on our daily routine. Always be careful, practice caution, right? Always put in mind zero trust. Don't simply trust, or trust but verify. Right? Even if you trust something, once you feel like it's 1% doubt, verify it before you proceed further. Right? So the tool that we're actually offering you for today for free is basically this email threat scanner. Right? So this is courtesy of Barracuda. Right? So we're actually offering this free email threat scanner. Fortunately, this only applies for those that are using Microsoft 365. All right. So it can help you to identify gaps in your email security, right? You can see the threats visualized in multiple ways, and you can get a report that you can share to either your management, on the current security of your email, right? Whether it's a positive or if negative, then you need to do something, you take action, right? So far, about 21,000 organizations have actually taken part in this free scan, right? And about 20 million mailboxes have actually been scanned. This is by Barracuda. This is global information, basically. It's not only in Malaysia, right? So 21 million spear phishing attacks identified. So how do you get this free email threat scanner? Right? We will provide the QR at the end. This is a sample of the report, the kind of information that you can receive. And this is very fast. You scan the QR, you fill in your information, within 2 minutes, you can get your report. It's very fast, right? So these are the kind of reports or information that you can get. So the total threats found within your email, the statistics will be given, the types of threats, right? And then the top 10 employee risks at risk will also be provided. Right? The threats to your security will also be provided, the top 10. Then the sources of attacks. This is focused purely on your email security, but unfortunately, it's only valid for people using Microsoft 365. Right? For those non-365, you can reach out to us directly. We can offer you a free email phishing test. Right? So before I share the QR, I do have the QR page next, which is my last slide. But before we move on to that, I just want to know if we have any questions. Anyone want to share something? Or any question you want to clarify? You can feel free to drop your questions on the chat box. And basically, these are the QR. So on the left here, basically, this is the free email threat scan. So for those of you using Microsoft 365, you can scan this QR code. It will take you to the Barracuda page. Then you can fill in the information you sign up for the free scanning. Don't worry. I know we have discussed a lot about scamming today, but this is not a scam, right? This is a trusted platform, basically provided by Condition Zebra, right? So you can scan the QR code. It will take you to the website. You can see there's a genuine Barracuda website. You can fill in your information to sign up for the free scan, and then you get the report automatically from Barracuda, all right? So if, let's say, those of you that are not using Microsoft 365, right, you can scan this QR on the right. This will basically take you to our Condition Zebra page, right? If you are interested in a free consultation, which will be one-to-one basis with our technical team, we can do a consultation on your current security, risks and concerns. We help you to come up with a strategy or roadmap for your cybersecurity, or we can offer you a free email phishing test, but very limited, right? It's not for the whole organization. It's a very limited test for you to have an idea of what is the possible weaknesses you're having in terms of your email security. So for non-O365 members, you can scan the QR on the right. For O365 members or Office Microsoft 365, you can scan the QR on the left to get a free email threat scan. So with that, we can proceed to the Q&A. If you have any questions, you can drop it on the chat and then we will answer. Okay, so someone is asking about the recording. Yes, we will provide the recording. If you're interested, you just indicate, maybe drop us an email or WhatsApp. We will happy to share you the recording of the webinar. All right, thank you. So far, any other questions or anything? Anyone want to share anything? Okay, for the slide, yes, you just let us know as well. We can share the slides to you as well. You can indicate and then we will reply by email. We'll send you the slide as well. Sure. So do we have any other questions? Okay, so if not further questions, this brings us to the end of our session, right? Oh, okay, someone is asking for the email. Okay, sure. I'll drop my email in the chat box. All right, so you can just drop me an email and then we'll send you the slide and the recording as well. Thank you. All right, thank you so much again, everyone. Thanks for joining. Hope you have a good long weekend. Thank you.